I wanted to base this video on the storyboarding aspect of the film because it really played such an important part in holding things together on set and when it came to post-production. So I was just going to run you through some of the original storyboard concepts and some of the rushes that we filmed afterwards. We used a couple of different techniques of storyboarding in the film, but mainly we use video storyboards because video storyboards are the best to show people how the scene's going to play out. And also just for me in the edit, I wouldn't even need to worry about how shots were going to cut together because I would have already seen them beforehand. Usually if I was just with Alex, I'd just give the camera to him, he would film me for a bit and I'd run through the action. Sometimes I'd get him to stand in place of the actor and just give me a good rough estimate of where the actor could stand, where the light might hit him. For the chase sequence in the film, we shot the storyboards on a mobile because we weren't entirely sure what would look good, and because we knew we were shooting this on the Canon, we knew it would be quite shaky anyway, so it gave us a good idea and it gave the actors a good idea on what would look good, what would look best in the final edit. If actors were coming over to do a rehearsal for a scene, we wouldn't even tell them. Sometimes we would just record them on the mobile, and while they're getting on with the rehearsal, we could think about the composition of the shot to help fine-tune things later on. Once we had cast Santini, we still weren't sure on exactly how we were going to shoot the scene, so during one of the rehearsals we just brought the camera with us, did all kinds of crazy shots, punched in, pulled out, loads of crazy angles, and then on the day we actually quite liked that, so we just went with that style and did all kinds of things, crossed the line, and really cashed in on those expressions. Sometimes if we didn't actually have access to a location, we would just run through the scene and imagine the surrounding. For instance, in this scene I asked the Dem to just imagine he was in a boiler room and that he was kicking a pipe in, and then later on when we actually find a location we can adjust for the action. And the guys were constantly trying to find things just to imagine the scene using small props, whatever they could find, just to try and simulate the scene some way in the storyboard, so that when it came round to actually shooting it, we knew it would be something similar. That's another thing, if you want to keep the budget down, when you're shooting on something like film, the last thing you want to do is get more than one take, and we certainly couldn't afford to get more than one take on 35. Every shot has a price tag, so that's why when it came to video storyboarding this scene, it did save us time, but it also saved us money in the end. These storyboards were done a little differently. Because we couldn't get video, because we really only had a van for 2 hours on the day, we'd have to try and imagine the elements of the frame which we couldn't actually get hold of, and Alex would just draw them in on his phone and would then reframe for that shot. Thinking back to it, we had an hour and a half to shoot this whole fight sequence, so that's why I thought it was worth doing a video on storyboards, because one of the reasons we managed to get the budget of the film below $2,000 to begin with is from all the pre-planning and the thoughts and the ideas which went in before the production started. That's probably one of the biggest assets to the film. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you're interested, there'll be more videos being uploaded sometime soon.